Hope we can all see my screen, right? So I welcome everyone here to our weekly analysis. Today we'll be looking at the DXY and also XAUUSD. So from the data released on Friday, the NFP, I'm expecting some bullish movement on dollar pairs and also a decline on XAUUSD and Euro USD as well. Now looking at the weekly time frame on DXY, you can clearly see that the order flow here is bearish. You don't need anybody to tell us that. And price mitigating this fair value gap here, this weekly fair value gap here. So I'm expecting some overall, I'm expecting more down movement on DXY on dollar pairs. All right. But before that happens, I would like to see some bullish movement because of the NFP on Friday. I'd like to see some bullish movement on that. So dropping down to the 4 hour time frame, let's see what we're going to get from the 4 hour time frame. So here on the 4 hour time frame, we can clearly see that price took out this external range liquidity here. Price took out this external range liquidity here, and we have this fresh buy stop liquidity resting above here. And also we have this buy stop liquidity resting above here too. So in the coming week, I would like to see, some strong movement on DXY after mitigating this internal range, this 4 hour fair value gap here. Right, this 4 hour fair value gap. We have this fresh external range here and this fresh external range here. So coming to the daily time frame, let me show you guys something on the daily time frame. Here on the daily time frame, we have a clear bearish order flow, right? Price breaking structure. Price breaking structure here, right? So we have this French range high and this range low over here. We have this range high and this range low over here. So looking at this movement here, there is no internal range liquidity here. There is no internal range liquidity. So what am I going to do? To know if my daily time frame aligns with what I saw on the 4 hour time frame, I'll have to make use of the Fibonacci, draw from the swing high to the swing low. Draw from the swing high to the swing low. I'm expecting to see price turning down or a reversal on DXY when price gets to either the 0.705 or the 0.62. So the 0.62 is my best bet here because we have this fresh external range liquidity here. I have to delete this. We have this fresh external range liquidity. You can clearly see this aligns very, very well with the 0.62 level of our Fibonacci. So when the market opens in the next couple of hours, I would like to see price drop into this 4 hour fair value gap to continue the up movement to give us something like this. To continue the up movement until we take out this external range liquidity here before we'll be able to see the continuation of the weekly order flow. Continuation of the weekly order flow. And when this happens, now this low here will become our draw on liquidity. This low here will become our fresh draw on liquidity. But for now, we just have to sit and observe how DXY is going to play out. Of course, we should expect that bullish movement. Okay, we should expect that bullish movement because the NFP on Friday came out strong. You can clearly see that the actual is way, way bigger than the forecast, 139,000 jobs. So I'm expecting to see that reaction. I'm expecting to see that reaction in the coming week on dollar index. All right. So moving over to XAUUSD, let's see what we're going to get from gold. Gold last week we took two trades on gold last week, but it didn't really go to our direction. We hit two SL. We actually took only two trades last week because there was no clear bias. There was no clear bias. And on Friday during the NFP, I told you guys I was expecting price to come into this daily fair value gap here. I was expecting price to come into this daily fair value gap, which actually happened. And price didn't close the way I wanted it to close. Price didn't close the way I wanted it to close. I was really, really excited when price got into this gap. Really, really excited when price got into this gap. But around 10 p.m. on Friday, I checked the chart again and I saw that price closed below it. I saw that price closed below it. And there is one thing you guys need to know is whenever a fair value gap is invalidated, whenever a fair value gap is invalidated, automatically turns to inversion fair value gap. Now, if our order flow, if it's a bullish fair value gap, a BC, and it happens to be invalidated, now it will serve as a resistance pushing price down to serve as resistance, pushing price down. This is a clear example of what I just said now. We have this bullish order flow here from the daily time frame, right? And this daily fair value gap here being invalidated, this BC being invalidated. Now I'm expecting this to serve as an inversion. I'm expecting this to serve as an inversion, to push price down into this external range liquidity here. So whenever the internal range liquidity fails to hold price, the next thing price does is to seek liquidity. And where can we find this out? Where can we find our liquidities? Either at the previous swing highs or the swing lows. Okay. So dropping down to the 4-hour time frame. Okay, before I move down to the 4-hour time frame, the weekly time frame here is really, really bullish. The order flow here is really, really bullish. Now we are trading internal structures. Okay, we have this previous week low. I'm expecting price to come take out this previous week low to continue the up movement for this external range liquidity here. For this external range liquidity, this one, and finally give us another all-time high on gold. Okay, but before this happens, other things need to put into consideration. Okay, now here on the 4-hour time frame, we can clearly see that the order flow here is very, very clean. The structure here is very, 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 very clean. Okay, we have this liquidity sweep here. We have this liquidity sweep, okay, and also we have this breaker block. We have this 4-hour breaker block. On I think yesterday when I was just trying to see how the market played out this week, I really got angry at myself that I saw something like this and I never cared to take that opportunity. But that I won't really take it hard on myself because I have something I'm looking out for on the daily time frame, which didn't really happen as I expected. So I don't really need to beat myself too much on that. But I was angry about this setup. This is a very clean setup, one of my A plus setup where I have a liquidity sweep, a breakout block, aligning with a fair value gap. This is what happened here on the 4-hour time frame. So we have our 4-hour breakout block here, right? And also we have this fair value gap here. We have this fair value gap. We can clearly see how price dropped massively. All right. And what else can we see? We have a break of structure, external range liquidity being taken out. External range liquidity being taken out. And this 4-hour fair value gap aligning perfectly well with our 1-hour inversion gap. Aligning very, very well with our 1-hour inversion gap. So I'm expect because of the NFP released on Friday, I'm expecting to see a decline into the midweek, a decline on gold into the midweek before the CPI. I'm expecting to see some decline, some bearish movement on gold. And on 11th, on CPI coming up this week, we're expecting Fed to cut interest rates. Trump and Jerome Powell have had this battle going on between them whether to cut rate or not to cut rate. But as it stands like this, NFP came out very strong, so we're expecting Fed to cut rates on this week on CPI, Consumer Price Index. So going into this week, I'm bearish on gold based on what we are seeing here from the structure. Very, very, very bearish on gold, expecting price to drop into this 4-hour fair value gap. And when this happens, go down to 15 minutes time frame. When this happens, I go down to 15 minutes time frame. Now, what do I want to see in this 15 minutes time frame? I like to see I like to see a structure like this play out on this 15 minutes time frame, which is where we are going to take our entries from. I like to see this kind of structure. I like to see this kind of structure, which is price taking out lower time frame liquidity grab, structure shift, and of course, our 15 minutes fair value gap. Of course, our 15 minutes fair value gap. So this is what I'll be looking out for on the 15 minutes time frame whenever price drops into this 4-hour fair value gap. All right. So looking at the fundamentals for this week, let's now June 11th, we have a whole lot of red folders this week. Monday, there is no red folder. And on Tuesday, there is no red folder. Wednesday, we have consumer price index. So I'm expecting Fed to cut interest rates. I'm expecting Fed to cut interest rate because the NFP came out very, very strong. And, Trump have been hammering on that, telling Jerome Powell that the rates will be cut. There is no inflation in the you can just join the call. So we have CPI on Wednesday, and on Thursday we have PPI and unemployment claims, and on Friday we have consumers sentiment. So guys, as you can see, from Wednesday to Friday we have a whole lot of red folders. And God being so kind, I'm expecting this week to be a very, very profitable week for us. I'm expecting this week to be a very, very good profitable week for us. All right. Looking at the main structure of this gold is saying everything. Like it's giving us all the information we need to know on gold. It's giving us all the information. Yeah, amen. It's giving us all the information we need. We have a liquidity sweep, breakout block, breakout structure. Price should come back to our 4-hour internal range liquidity for us to continue the down movement until we take out this external range liquidity here, which is previous week low. So if we're able to get into this trade this week, we'll look to swing it. Let's say from the open of this 4-hour gap to this, okay, this 800 pips. If we're able to get this trade this week, if price plays out the way we're expecting it to play out, respecting structures and all that, we'll be able to get 801 pips because you are definitely going to swing it. All right. We're definitely going to swing it. Okay. I think all right. So if you have any question, kindly ask or mute yourself and ask your question. Then I will attend to your questions.
So I have a question. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, sir.
Mhm.
Okay, most of the setup you've dropped for us are majorly on buys. I don't know if from what you're saying now and what you're seeing is actually going to be a sell this week. So I don't know if you're going to be able to drop setup for us for a sell. Because most of the time I see you drop is just
Okay.
majorly on buy.
This is what I just did now on gold. I'm expecting a bearish movement on gold this week because of this structure we are seeing on the 4 hour time frame. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
So I said I'm bearish going into this week on gold.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So do we have any other question? Okay. I'm trying to reply some messages on the chat box. You can reach me with this number +234 915 408 3610. Can reach me with this number on WhatsApp. All right. So in the absence of no other question, let's see how this week is going to play out. Okay. I wish everyone here a profitable week. And we are definitely going to kill the market this week. Trust me, guys. We are going to kill the market this week. All right. Last week wasn't that good. Yeah, last week wasn't that good, but trust me, this week, we are going to kill the market this week. We are going to kill the market this week, all right? Even if this fails to hold price, no problem. We have CPI coming up, all right? No problem. We'll have CPI coming up. CPI is going to give us a very clean bias, all right? Going to give us a very clean bias, all right? So one thing you guys need to know is losses are inevitable in this game. So, but the most important thing here is we making sure that our wins are bigger than our losses. All right, and currently we are sitting at 62.5%, which is absolutely good. 62.5% win rate, which is absolutely good. And this week we are looking to take it to maybe a 70% or a 75% win rate this week. All right. We just need to trust our instincts, follow our trading plan. Okay. And another thing we should need to know this week, don't let the rush to take trades get into you without a proper confirmation. Taking trades without a proper confirmation. Don't let that adrenaline get to you. I remember these guys going.
Hey, don't throw it. I put my drug. Okay, okay, okay.
Please kindly mute.
Sorry. Sorry, my teacher. Sorry.
So, and going into this week, we should always remember to use our stop loss. Remember to use your stop losses, okay? Because this market doesn't care about us. If you're being liquidated, the market continues going to where they are going to. And secondly, always remember to follow your trading plan. Always remember to follow your trading plan. Don't use because you're seeing impulsive movements in the market and you want to jump into the market without any proper confirmation, without any proper confidence, you are violating your trading plan. And that is a shame on you if you're doing that. All right. You need to be solid. You need to stay disciplined in this industry. The third one is we also have to remember to journal our trades. It's very important. If you want to be a professional trader, if you want to go pro in this industry, always journal your trade. Now, why are we journaling our trades? We are journaling our trade. Let's say you have like a 7 losing streak. Now you want to find out what the problem is. You can't find out. You can't do that. Mere looking at the chart. You go back to your journal, look for the things you're not doing right, and correct yourself. Then come back stronger the next day. And the fourth one is always have this at the back of your mind. It's you versus the market. It's you versus the market. And lastly, before I go, before you take that screenshot, because most traders are fond of doing this, before you take that screenshot, is either you've secured some partials or you've closed your position, because you might be in the process of taking your screenshot and all of a sudden price start reversing, the profit is gone. So in order to avoid all these things, always secure partials or close your trades before taking any screenshot. All right. I wish everyone here a wonderful week. Okay. Good night, guys.